What's going on? This is your boy, Bright Boy Yorkie, with another exclusive for you, representing 400 years of freedom for my people. Militant today. We militant today. But y'all, I'm going to drop something on y'all a lot of people may not like. I'm going to tell you the reason why I kind of fell back from watching the NBA. Why I fell back from watching pretty much sports, but particularly the NBA. For one, you're going to go with how many hours we have in a day. We have 24 hours in a day, right? So, allegedly, you're supposed to sleep 8 hours. So that knocks you down to 16, right? Then you work 8 hours. So that leaves you with 8 hours left of your freedom. And then you got to take into account traveling to your job back and forth. That's an hour there, back and forth. So you're down to 6 hours of freedom. Right? Now, when you watch a basketball game, typically there's two games. You have an East Coast game and you have a West Coast game. And both games are at least 3 hours apiece. So now you zapped out your whole entire time of creating a business, working on yourself, working on your family, developing a new skill, networking, a lot. So that was the first thing I noticed. Once I became spiritual, why I fell back from watching sports. Like I just watch the highlights. Serious. I love basketball. My family, my uncle was really great. I grew up, I went to St. Raymond's. I love basketball. But I just watch the highlights because most of the time I'm working on myself, working on my craft, talking to my daughter, talking to my family, my friends, developing that because there's times I can't do that. So, the next thing I wanted to know, because we as humans think we're acting out on our own intuition. We think we're not programmed, but a lot of us are programmed. Even me being super conscious, it's certain things that my ass is still programmed that I know I should not be doing. But I'm going to stick with this NBA and why I fell back from the NBA. And what black men don't even realize that go over their head all the time. Now, it was a certain play that grabbed my attention, but it grabbed my attention plenty of times. And sometimes I believe when you fall back from something and then go back to it, you see it different. So I'm watching the NBA and in the finals recently, it was a play that Tyler Hero straight fucked up, right? And I'm watching the television, and at first I ain't paying no mind to it until Jeff Van Gundy did this. He made a mistake. I'm like, wait a minute. So he's not going to place responsibility on Tyler Hero? Like, if LeBron make one mistake, any black athlete make a mistake, it's like they get 100 lashing on the motherfucking, he ain't play defense. He's not focused. Look at Carmelo. Like, great athlete. But look how much lashing shit he had to do to get back in the league. They bust his ass to be, for him to dribble a ball again. He ain't even the same player or person no more. But it's so many lashing that they give a black athlete in basketball particularly. I'm sure in all sports, you never hear them critique the white athlete. You never, I said, wow, he ain't going to say Tyler Hero. But then when he said that he made that mistake, Mark Jackson kind of like went along with it. And I'm like, damn, like, no. This was J.R. Smith. This was Kyle Kuzma. This was Rondo. This was any one of them. Yo, he ain't get back on defense. He needed to grab that rebound. That's why they thinking about trading him. LeBron aging, and he may not be the same. But I never heard them say, yo, you know what? This homeboy from Dallas. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I ain't into it that much, but I watch it. And I never hear them critique a white athlete. Me, watching the sport, I never heard them say, yo, you know what? This dude right here could be a better defender. This dude right here, he can hustle more. You know what I'm saying? And when I peeped that, I was like, yo, man, this is some bullshit. And what's the ripple effect? That's why we always critiquing each other. We can't accept each other for our natural talents or who we are. Yo, his sneakers is fucked up. His nose look fucked up. His head look fucked up. She look like this. He look like this. It's constantly critiquing each other because we constantly being critiqued on television. And right in front of your eyes. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, damn, man, like, be careful what you watching. Be careful what you taking in. You know, like the other day I was watching a television show, Vampires in the Bronx versus the Bronx, Vampires versus the Bronx. And I'm like, yo, it's a lot of programming going up here. In that show, 3 young teenagers, none of the 3 young boys had fathers. The dark skin of them is the over-emotional, getting into trouble. The dark-skinned girl is overstacked with this crazy weave coming out her head. It's like, damn, like, do we act this way because we act this way, or do we keep seeing images and keep hearing people say certain things where after a while we just start acting like that? I'm like, serious. Like, serious. Like, is it like, I almost had the dude name, but he's on Dallas, but I never heard them, like I said, I'm going to wrap this up. I never heard them critique a white athlete the way they critique black athletes. That's why I fell the fuck back from the NBA. It's just like a lot of things you see on television, especially as a black man, it is programming you. Us as black people, it is programming us from the music. And I do music. I know y'all be like, oh, he do music. Yeah, because you know what? Sometimes God need to choose people like me to speak to other artists to make them aware and change the frequency so they can help others. There's always going to be people, agents of God, in this system, in this matrix, to help other people out. I'm just one of them. You know what I'm saying? But that's my reason from falling back from the NBA. Next time you watch an NBA, next time you watch any show of the NBA, see if they critique another white European athlete, how they critique a black athlete on that court. When you watch television shows, see how they display you, people that look like you, your color, your complexion, and how they display others. Then my question to you is, are we watching these television shows acting like these characters, or are we following our own intuition? This is your boy Yorkie on Spiritual Hustle, where it's all about your mind, body, and soul. Later.